The best subscription box out there with the most hard baits. I forgot to hit the record button. It's already getting off to a beautiful start here. You
support, man.
Can save $10 on your first box by using the discount code FEARFISHING at the checkout. I used some of these baits in my last bass box at the FLW Canada Cup swim baits by Yum. Super awesomeness. Let's get the party started. Well, as you can see, for week 97 in a row, it's not going to work. I only need a second to get across the table anyway.
I think we've only had that work once.
And it was like 2 shows ago.
I don't know what's going up with that thing.
It was
2 shows ago.
Two shows ago. Worked sweet. Was flawless. Welcome, everybody, to show 61. Wow. We've been really pumping these out this year.
Yeah. Well, we got a schedule now, right? We never had a
we
schedule.
we didn't have a schedule before. We would just kind of do it whenever somebody was available to come on as a guest. Then we did a bunch with the guests. And tonight, we have a guest.
Perfect. For a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
We haven't done a guest. The Skype won't work and the streaming because, I don't know, not computer.
We're not that technical.
Yeah, we're not that good. But listen, we're going old school. We can do it on the phone. We got that figured out. We're going to bring Matt Pezzetta on very soon. But first, let's go around the horn because I'm sure we have new viewers tonight.
Yeah.
I'm Ian West. I run this fear fishing operation. It is like trying to chase monkeys out of a jungle running this thing. To my left, we used to have a co-host, and then we got this table, so he's just part of the group now.
We get a new table, and I lose my status. Well, you know what? I'm going to call myself the new special effects guy, all right?
That's your plan for tonight?
Okay,
let's hear it.
All right, let's go. You ready?
Whoa. Very good. We are going to catch Ike live sometime.
That's the explosion that's about to happen.
Oh, my gosh. Across the table from us tonight, which one are you?
My name's Mark, by the way.
Yeah, Mark from Bowmanville. Hey, dude, somebody threw a Molotov cocktail in a window in a building in Bowmanville?
Wasn't me.
What?
We saw that on the news today. 16-year-old chucked, in a building.
What kind of building?
I don't know.
In my hometown?
Storefront. In your hometown. You didn't know. On July 26th. I was actually watching it when I was getting my pedicure today.
You think?
Yeah.
You got a pedicure?
I did.
I'm so jealous. You know what God has blessed me with?
What's that?
God blessed me with, and this was before we went down to Quinny and spent the week.
There's no blessing down there.
God blessed me with an ingrown toenail.
Oh, no.
And it's infected. Like right now as I sit here, I'm in pain.
Because your feet aren't ugly enough already.
Right? You know what I mean?
Bum, bum.
It hurts.
He actually had me smell it on Lake Scugog. We'll get that.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Does it smell like I'm dying?
It was bad. Hey, bro.
You always smell like you're dying, bud, especially on long trips.
He's like, he's got his foot on my boat, and he's like, I'm going to shoot out the pus, and it's going to stink.
Oh, my God.
That's awesomeness. Welcome to the world of tournament fishing. Marley, you're back.
I'm back.
Woo!
How's it going? How are things?
Really good, actually.
We just got to spend a week together.
Yeah, I got to fish for 5 days.
Yeah, how was that?
Pretty excited about that.
Pretty excited?
When's the last time you said you fished for 5 days, Marley? Mr. Motorcycle.
Man.
Motorcycle.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Couple of years.
We used to do it ever.
That's a blasphemy.
It is, I know. Yeah. Tell me about it.
That's not cool.
And you know what? Seeing you in person, I thought you'd be taller.
Oh, actually? I look like I stand beside.
That's funny. Thought you'd be taller. Wow.
For those who don't know, Marley's what, like 8'6" or something?
Yeah, something like that.
8'2". 8'2", yeah, 8'2".
Yeah, 8'2".
He was wearing heels when I saw him.
There's actually video on the internet. You guys, there's video on the internet of Marley as a teenager playing basketball. Young man, ultra tall, tallest basketball player. Watch this. You guys talk about something. This is going to be awesome. It's worth the wait. Tallest young.
I'm already offended.
Yeah, he's about to. Welcome back, Marley. Jeez. So what have you been doing with your time, buddy? You haven't been fishing.
Working a lot.
Girls?
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Putting Marley back in the field?
Girls? Yeah.
You guys ready?
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Here's Marley at basketball practice as a teenager. Is it going to play?
That's offensive already.
It is. Hold on. Oh, look at him.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's him.
How tall is that dude?
that's you.
That's you.
That's totally you.
Yeah, it is kind of.
What? Isn't
Dude,
that
you
crazy?
need to eat a burger.
Look at him. He's taller than the coach.
Look at, he's almost taller than the phone.
What does that say?
That guy's better looking,
7'7"?
though.
Watch him play hoops. Which way am I going here?
Wow.
Look at that kid.
Wow.
Wow.
How do you find us? What's your search?
Marley Horniak basketball. Look at him throw down there.
I have the worst friends ever.
Do you feel that tall when you're in front of the boat?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a platform. It'd be great to take.
Look at him. Look at him. Take it.
Yeah, you'd be good for sight fishing.
Yeah,
Sight
flat
fishing,
fishing
the
or
best.
something.
Yeah, sight fishing's the way.
Gonna take you for some reds.
We the North, if the Raptors need him, Marley's in. Scouted.
Dude, you're gonna be making like
8-6.
$8 million next year.
Yeah, man. The new basketball.
If they
Suck at
pay you by the
basketball.
inch,
It's weird. I'm really tall too, not 8'6", but I can't dunk. I can't even make a free throw. Worst, like yeah. I
were you
guess
guys
they're
big
Can you
sports
even
guys?
run?
Were you
I don't
were you
like
a
to.
sports guy in like when you were younger?
not unless I
Yeah.
have to. Not unless there's police.
You were a jock, right? You were a jock.
I was a jock.
Yeah,
I played
you look
hockey
like-
and
you look
all
like a
the
jock.
sports.
Yeah,
I'm
did
just got like 20 and lazy.
ya? Really?
Yeah, I was a ball player and I was into martial arts. And
I played
I
worked.
said sports.
soccer and swam on the swim
Like
teams in high
fishing.
school. Played hockey, and then I became legal drinking age. I realized that was way more fun.
well, yeah, that was it. That pretty much ended my sports
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a point where you realize you're not going to make the NHL, and Paps is good.
Right?
Yeah,
Saddest day of your dad's life.
yeah, for sure. My father was upset on that day. Yeah, there's like a point where you realize that you're not going to get to play anymore, right? Some guys haven't figured that out. The Belleville,
Everybody in the Belleville League.
yeah, Marley used to play.
On
That's like the
Sunday mornings.
NHL Sunday
Serious.
mornings.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have swore the scouts were in the stands by the way the guys are playing.
Really? Wow.
Serious.
All out.
Wow.
All out.
Where do you guys want to start?
How about the top?
FLW Canada Cup. We just spent a whole week in the beautiful town of Trenton.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
eh?
it was. Man.
It
I had a
was
great
really
time.
good.
What an amazing show.
You know who was
Yeah.
really good? The mayor.
The mayor was
He's
a
a-
funny,
great
eh?
guy. He was funny.
He's a beauty.
Old
yeah.
dude. Made some
That
good
guy was-
jokes.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
beauty.
insane.
Even offered up his boat if somebody had boat
If
problems.
somebody
he
had
did.
boat
He
problems,
did.
he had
What a great
17-foot Prince Craft.
Yeah, with a
He
70,
was-
70
yeah.
on the back or something. He said.
He's doing gasser up for whoever needed it.
Yeah.
The other cool thing, before we get to the fishing part, is the chicken at the dinner.
The taters.
They were good.
Man, that was good.
taters.
Eh?
It was
Yeah.
delicious.
I sent Coop and Danny for a box.
No
each.
way.
Box each. I'm like, boys. I'm like, go get a box of that chicken each. They're like, why? I'm like, for we can have munchies when we get back to the
Did you
hotel.
just
No
say
way.
for a week and a half?
I did.
You really?
You're rubbing off on me.
I know.
You sent
I don't like that.
You know what?
the we?
I get.
We
I get
fixed the
my-
truck?
We
We
all
fixed
have
the
our
boat?
little sayings, right? We all have our little sayings. I notice everybody else is like picking it up, and you had your 4, right? And you're you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
That's
Oh,
when
yeah.
he.
Like,
when-
you know what I mean?
Sean says that when he
I say that all
really
the
needs you
time.
to agree with him. Like when he says something that, like, and if you give him like even the slightest, I'm gonna call you out on this. He goes, right, right,
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Like, do you really want to make this decision? Right.
And I gave the group Dick Hammer.
Yes,
You're
you
always
did.
calling him. How many people
I
call
always,
him
I
Dick
say
Hammer
that
a
word
day?
all the time. I have to really hold my tongue in some places. Really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying not to say it right now. Right this second.
I'm trying
Did you
not
not
to say
see that
penises.
pause? Yeah. Marley, you got something you'd like to say? You got a saying? You got some good ones.
I got lots, but
He
I
doesn't
can't
say
think
a
of any.
lot, but when he says something, it's usually really, really funny.
Brilliant.
It's like
Yeah.
just wow.
Brilliant.
He holds it in.
I do, yeah, for sure. You can't just give that stuff out
Sometimes he tests the water just to see if anybody's paying attention, but most of the time he's pretty quiet.
quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can I say?
I like the look he gave me when we were using the electric barbecue to cook hot dogs
Oh
up
my
at bear
God.
camp. He's like, "Have you ever seen an electric barbecue?" I'm like, "No."
Me
neither.
That was not
So-
electric barbecue.
Maybe we shouldn't have used it. Eh?
That was a smoker.
Should we take an FLW break here to talk about the smokers? So we were at bear camp. Marley came to be the cameraman, and it was raining like
Yeah.
profusely, flooding everywhere. So we decide on the deck there's a barbecue, and it was an electric one.
Yeah, it was an electric barbecue.
So Marley fires up the barbecue, which AKA the smoker.
Right. Mark and I weren't on the deck at the time.
No,
we were
it was
Let's get that straight.
right. So Marley starts smoking, right, and I realized it was a smoking when the smoke started bellowing out of it, and it didn't really get that hot.
Best
Right,
hot dogs
so
ever.
all of a sudden we get about a quarter of the way through the hot dog making, and Brenda, who owns the place, had a cast on her leg, and you hear it like a pirate coming up the stairs.
Her face came out the window first.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she lost her bananas on
Oh
us.
yeah.
She did not use nice words.
No, so I'll never forget. The four of us are sitting in like a square on the couch, looking like kindergarten kids who've getting yelled at, and there's 8 hot dogs in a monster box,
Yeah,
half
sticking
cooked,
straight
right
up.
in the middle of us,
Half smoked.
like so guilty, and everybody just like,
Mark was the worst because he's like, we shouldn't have done that.
yeah, Mark,
told him.
yeah.
I told
Right
you.
away. I told
I'm
him
not going down for
Brenda,
this.
There's
Yeah,
always
you were
that guy.
that
Right?
kid.
Right under the
Yeah.
bus.
I wasn't.
You were that kid.
There's always that.
instantly.
Wasn't me.
Told you guys you
Yeah.
shouldn't have did that.
Go ahead.
You had no one's
Go
back.
ahead. Tell my parents. I'm telling them the same
I
thing.
was
You
like
made
you
me.
guys. I was kind of
'Cause totally-
scared to say anything at that point.
I was just sitting back watching the show.
Yeah. And we were watching the Scott Martin vlog.
That's right.
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
It was a great day. The hot dogs were amazing.
They were.
Yeah, after they got us like a real barbecue.
Yeah. Then she went and searched for this little hibachi that had
Yeah.
one burner or something.
We were top drawer.
6 hours later, we had the most delicious hot dogs ever. I don't know if it's because we were hungry or because, man, they were good hot dogs.
That was actually really, really funny. So
FLW Canada.
we got there. We pre-fished. Pre-fishing was incredibly tough.
It was tough.
It was really tough.
It was tough. Like we fished Monday right through Wednesday,
Yeah.
and we were afraid on day one that we were just going out looking for 5 bites.
Yeah.
We fished
You know?
Monday. I got 3 fish all day. Fished 11 hours. Tuesday we found that little something special.
Yep.
That on giant swim baits and chatterbaits in the can we say where it is now?
Yeah, okay.
In the Napanee River, right in the middle of town. We probably made 7 casts and had 5 good ones. Out in the middle of the channel, not in cover. You even got one on a great big deep diving crankbait. So we thought they were going to reload.
So it's a deep channel.
Yes. And we thought they were going to reload, right? So we kind of we weren't there 3 hours.
No.
We pulled the boat out and went on to the next river.
But you stayed there for 3 hours and hammered fish.
No,
No,
we only caught. We pulled up
we'd
the
pull
first
to a
he.
spot and then you catch a good one. And
So
then we'd leave,
his
and then go
first
next spot,
cast
and then
before I
catch
even
a
got
good
the
one.
cameras on,
And then
he
go
he got a good
somewhere
one. Then we went to about 150 yards down to the next lily pad stretch, casted it out the middle. I got one on my first cast. He got one about a cast later. We moved about another 300 yards down. I threw my line out, reeled about 15 cranks, let it hit the bottom, and was playing with the fish finder. And boom, boom, boom on my arm, right? And I couldn't shake them off, bring them in. It's another good one, and then we left.
Yeah,
We
see,
probably
I
didn't make 40 casts.
I really don't like stinging fish during pre-fish.
No.
But
I
on
think it's
on
just
like
too
on
close.
chatterbaits and on
If you got weak
crankbaits
fish,
and
you
stuff,
want to check the size of one of them for sure.
right? And so we never they were like demolishing baits. They had like a 6-inch swim bait down their throat, like there was no shaking them off. You were reeling and you could feel them like turning the bait to swallow it.
Do you know what I use on a chatterbait or a swim bait for a stopper? I take, because I've got these large pegs, right, that don't fit in anything,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
don't fit. I got 2-ounce tungsten; they don't fit in them,
yeah.
right? So what I do, I turn the peg around and I put that peg over top of the hook. And
Gotcha.
it works really good for shaking them off. Like they
We've
don't
never
get
had
pierced.
this problem before though. The only problem we ever had is we went pre-fishing and we didn't sting any fish, and then on tournament day we went back and they were all pike. Do you remember that on Seymour?
Yep.
And they were all pike. We thought we had hooks bent in on frogs, and we watched fish blow up and suck it under. And we went there on tournament day, and it was full of pike.
Wow.
Every single one of them was pike.
Yeah, we
You got to
were
burn a
shaking off.
couple, right? It was just a really. I don't think anybody expected it to be this tough.
It was tough, yeah.
Man, like
Like,
Quinny, you can usually
all
go
days
pound
of free-
33 pounders in a day. Throw a flipping jig in any kind of milfoil or that cabbage stuff, and you catch fish.
We were marking 85-degree water.
It's really
Some
warm.
spots, like
That's
Right?
what we found cold water and moving
Our
water.
pre-
That's
Fish
the
wasn't-
thing. So
wasn't
when we
bad.
showed up day one, we really thought that we were going to run out that river, and in about an hour and a half, we were going to have 16 or 17 pounds, and we were going to stop and go pre-fishing.
real pre-fish. Yeah.
We go up there.
Yeah.
The water had stopped moving. The water had become dirty, and the other thing is in one of the best spot where we got to, the garbage had pooled up. Like there was garbage and grass on top, and you couldn't even cast a swim bait without getting it choked up.
Wow.
And then we probably stayed too long because we thought something's got to change, right?
They'll turn on.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if they hit this,
Yeah.
so we only ended up weighing 860 in, right? We got a couple 13 inches. I never ever in my whole life got my measuring board out at Quinny, and we had it out the whole day trying to catch 13-inch fish.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, everything
Right.
we caught such good quality on free fish, and then alternate just garbage.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
That
Like
was
it
our
was
tournament days.
unbelievable.
We had a good I had a decent. It wasn't great pre-fish, but it was okay. I felt okay.
Yeah. Where were you looking?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly shallow, mostly deep.
I fished
Deepest
everything.
I looked probably when I was out pre-fishing was probably 12 feet.
I got one in pre-fish at the Telegraph Narrows in 18 feet of water on a DT20.
Never hit anything that deep.
Right? It's really tough. I've never seen. So hindsight's 2020. We should have left earlier. After talking to some guys about that river, it's well known that those fish move a ton. We didn't know that. You kind of feel silly weighing in because you can't win a tournament on the first day, but you can certainly lose it.
Yup.
Right?
But then you always got big fish to go after.
Yeah, you
That's
So
right.
there's
No,
no point
I don't
leaving.
think you should quit at all.
No way.
But you know what I
Just
mean?
the
Like
dream,
some people take big risks in tournaments, and then you hear about these hero stories of how we could have went up that river and caught 20 pounds in 10 casts, right? And it's really deflating to be like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And we were at like the Napanee River. It took us like an hour to get there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a tour.
It's a tour.
Especially
Like
when
we
you
were
launched out of
committed, right?
Trenton.
Yeah, like we were committed, right? And we went right downtown. Like we caught some of our fish at the boat launch where they were tied boats up. And I don't know why they didn't go. I still to this day, I really wish that on the last day of the tournament, we should have went up there and seen if they were going to turn on. Like that would have felt better, right? There's some kind of timing deal going on, right? And we just didn't know that. But we would have been like
It's weird that the river turned off too.
Yeah.
No current.
No current.
Tournament day, and it got dirty.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Pre-fishing-
current before and then no.
pre-fishing-
No, there was
Clear.
current, crystal clear water, and it was 5 degrees cooler than everywhere we found on the rest of the lake. And there was bait fish about this big all over the place, and we would see bass blowing up
Wow.
on the bait fish. It was loaded. They're in there somewhere.
Now the second day, or when you went there on tournament day, did you see the bait fish?
No.
No bait fish.
No bait fish.
Dirty water.
Dirty water,
Find the bait fish.
right?
current.
No current. And so on day 2, we went to another river, the Salmon River, full of pike. Couldn't get it. We never caught a hit flipping. Got a hit flipping the whole week until the last 45 minutes of that tournament.
Wow.
Well, I got 2 on the first day.
Yes. Deep.
And I couldn't get a deep fish all week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marley got a good one in the Belleville Marina on the break wall. And then we went to the Salmon River on like a destitute, like, oh my God, we have one fish in the well. We need to find some way to catch the limit. And we caught the first 2 right in the middle of the channel casting chatterbaits. Caught a pile of pike. Then we went upriver and we just started pounding the pads and managed to catch 3 fish.
With the last one.
This is the toughest I've
5
ever
minutes
fished
before
Quinny in
it
my whole life.
We had one fish in the well till 3:30 on day 2.
Really?
That's
And
stressful.
then we,
That
yeah,
is
And then we
stressful.
ended up culling like a couple times. We caught a lot of fish in that last hour and a half-ish.
Yeah.
It's hard on the soul, man.
Day
Awesome.
one, I fish with the Polish Prince Chris Tataska, right?
That's Polish. Right.
You know, and
Tosca who?
Chris Tataska.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
So we our day one, like the fish were on fire for us.
Really?
They were on fire. Like we were just smashing fish, boom, boom, boom. Not only were we got a lot of pike too.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I didn't
We
know
lost a
the bay had
lot
that
of
many
baits.
pike. I caught more pike on Sunday than I've ever caught in my whole life on Quinny.
Oh man, if it was a pike tournament, I'm telling you, we would have been top team. We were smashing them.
Really?
We were smashing them, yeah. And I really got to hand it to Chris. He's not really a deep fisherman. He likes his certain style of fishing. So fishing Quinny is totally different for him.
Was for me too.
And he put his head down and grinded it out with me, and we put together a pattern. And we ended up doing okay day one.
Yeah,
You guys did well.
You did.
You were there.
We were all right. We blew a couple of fish that we knew we had to go back and get.
Yeah.
And they would have been difference makers, right? When you add 2 pounds to our weight.
You were right there.
Right
You were in
there.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we had a couple of dinks in there, right? So we really grinded it out. And then day 2, we were like, okay, we're gonna start out a little deeper and work our way back in. And when we worked our way back in, another boat came in, and right where the fish we were going to, he was set up on, right? And this guy stayed there.
Yeah.
And you know who it was? Guy fishing all by himself.
No way.
Sean Palmer.
Sean Palmer.
And he
And
rocked
big
it.
shout out to him. He fished by himself.
He
Awesome,
rocked it.
Man, he did a great job.
Yeah.
I got to talk to him Sunday. We went to weigh in,
Yep.
and I got to speak with him. He's a super nice
He's
guy.
a great guy.
Fellow guy on the Daiwa team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Garmin man.
Well done, Sean.
Yes, congratulations. And that's the second time he did well fishing by himself, because he had to fish that Rice Lake event
That's right.
the one day by himself.
And I believe he's going to.
Yeah, he's already
already
qualified.
qualified. Yes.
Yeah, he's
For
already
the Coastal
qualified
Championship.
for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
huge congrats to him. That's really
Well
tough
done,
to fish
Sean.
by yourself.
Especially when it's fishing so tough.
Yeah.
The fish are like I found that on the lake, I don't know if I want to say the fish were scattered, but I think they were all grouped up and we just couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. what's
There was
going on.
scattered fish.
I don't get it. It's very disappointing. It was a great show. You got to make risks in order to have success, but it's a little deflating, especially.
What a show that was.
It was amazing. The whole tournament was run super well. I have no complaints about how it was well.
Ultra professional.
Yes,
Yeah.
the as much as I don't like the delay, it was probably the right call. You could have got real nasty out there.
Oh, 100%.
Sending guys across Big Bay and big waves is not a good idea. I think it went
Enlightening.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I had a great time at taking the family down to watch the last day of weigh-in.
That was
Great
cool.
show.
He had a band before the weigh-in.
I couldn't go to the last day of
It
weigh-in.
was a kids fishing thing.
A superstition thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I missed Coop and Danny when they won it, I was like, you know what, boys? I said, last time I missed it, you guys won. They're like, you're not coming, right? I'm like, no, guys.
Well,
I'm
you
not coming."
screwed them this time.
Yeah.
So, but huge congrats to the winners.
Oh, absolutely.
Super awesome.
Eric Luzak and Ashley Rafe, what,
Yeah.
Huge.
55.55 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, great
Huge
weight.
congratulations to
Yeah.
them. They fished very, very well.
And Cooper and Danny.
They did
Very
well, too.
You know what?
Second, moving
Those kids want to go to the States. It's all they cared about.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
They
sure.
wanted to go to the States. They
Yep.
put them in a position to go to the States, and that's what they did. Those two stayed with me all week in the hotel, right?
Yeah.
We took in the homeless kids, me and Chris.
Yeah.
Right? It's true.
I remember I kicked Coop out the one night. He slept in his truck the night I stayed with you guys.
Yeah,
right?
because he couldn't handle my snoring.
No, you didn't snore at all, really.
I know. That's what I told
You
him.
know, you sleep like a starfish, but
Wow. It's my bed.
it's my bad. Yeah, you're a guest here.
Right? But those
Oh.
kids, when we were going to bed, and, me and Chris were sitting there on our phones, checking out Facebook and Instagram. And you know what those two kids were doing? They were watching underwater footage from their pre-fish, trying to figure out what those fish were going to be doing the next day.
No way.
Yeah, they were hard at her.
They were-
They don't stop thinking about this stuff
Oh,
for a
yeah.
second.
Oh yeah.
And now they're both on their way down for the
Costa.
no.
Oh, the
For the OBN qualifier.
OBN.
Yeah, I'll be
Right.
fishing that. I can't get there till Friday. So yeah, that's this weekend in North Bay.
Yes.
On
Yeah,
Nipissing.
yeah, they hit the road yesterday.
Huge.
It's a
It
great
is
lake.
big. It is big.
Good luck to all the guys who are
Oh,
fishing
yeah.
So and
that.
that's you get in top. You just need to be top 11, I guess, as boater, and you're going down to the States, right?
There you go.
So it's pretty good opportunity.
And Nipissing, that's not an
I
easy
went
bottle
last
of
year.
water
No, it's
fish,
not.
is it?
It is not.
Huge water,
It's a
man.
great body of water, though. It's
I
awesome.
said I know
Marley's
nothing
fished
about
quite a
it.
bit.
Fished quite a bit.
If
I
there's
figured-
anybody from Nipissing that knows anything about that water and wants to pre-fish for me, just joking.
Should we bring our
Message
guest
me.
in?
Sure.
I'm sure there's people waiting to hear from Matt.
Let me,
It was a good week. I had a great time. Mar, it was really good to fish with you.
That was
It's
awesome.
been a long time, eh?
Oh, he went on
Man, I like Marley from like the age like 22, 23, somewhere in there. We fished like 4 or 5 days a week together.
Yeah, for sure.
Every
Years.
tournament. I've never fished a tournament with anybody else other than Marley till this year.
Really, eh?
Yeah. One guy.
How's that
He went and
working
married my
How's that
ex-girlfriend.
working out for
We
you?
won't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. I forgot about that. Is he answering his phone here?
You know who I met? Pete
Who?
Garnier and Bob Deckert. Those
They did a
guys
super
made a
great
huge
time.
push.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
Super great
They
guy.
were sitting in 28th going into the final day, and they
Yep.
ended up pushing up to 5th. And I got to stand with Bob. We were in the lineup for the waiting for the bags, and I'll tell you, there wasn't anybody more excited to see Chris Jones than this guy.
No
Oh,
way.
he was. He told me.
He was loving life. He's like, I can't believe this. He's like, Chris Jones is here. He's like,
I think I've done
you
two
guys
weigh-ins
have
with
no
Chris
idea
now.
how much. Like this guy's a huge bass fan. Like this
Yeah.
guy, like huge bass fishing fan. This guy watches.
You know what
every
was pretty
weigh-in.
cool? The best time I had
Guy's
at
a pro.
I got to miss. I've met Chris Jones a couple times, and when I went on stage, he recognized me, and we had a good conversation. But the big part of the whole week for me was talking to Mr. Izumi and lineup. They weighed in after me,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of minding my business, and I don't really like to bug Bob, and with my silly stuff. And he kind of gave me the nod, and hey, how's it going, Ian? And I was really like, I couldn't believe Bob Izumi knew my name. And we had a really good chat, and we shook hands, and I think that was my. I don't care who you are, if you like to fish in Canada, it's because of Bob Izumi.
Yeah.
When we were kids, you want to talk about this? Do you know what I'm bringing up
No, I don't.
about
I don't
the
remember this.
catfish?
The catfish.
Remember when we were kids, we used to go catch catfish at the
Yeah.
Ganney? And we would go, because we didn't get to bass fish because we didn't have a boat, right? When we didn't have parents who really fished. So Marley and I would meet at the river, and I had we had noodle rods, like 9-foot ultra whippy noodle rods, and we would get floats and worms, and we'd find schools of bullhead, mudcats. And we would cast into them and set hooks so hard, pretending we were Bob Izumi. You know what I mean? Right? You get what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that float would go down, and we'd set hook and giggle and laugh down the river how we were like Bob Izumi flipping bass out of the cane. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
then seeing how much we'd like flipping them up on the bank, and we were like kids back then. Like we were really. I was probably like 13, and Marley would have been 10.
When I was a little kid, I used to live on the water, and
Yeah.
for my birthday, I think when I was 10, I asked for a watch for
Yeah.
my birthday, and they're like, all he wants is a watch. I'm like, because I wanted to know what time I had to be home from fishing in the
Yeah.
morning so I could watch Bob Izumi so I could go back out fishing.
No way.
You know? And I've actually had I've been pretty blessed. I've got to spend some time with Bob,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bob and his family, and they're super great people. Actually, when we were at the trough with our fish, Darren gave me a maple leaf.
No way.
Did he?
I saved it.
I got another Bob Izumi story.
I
Since
dropped
we're
it on the
having
ground. He was
Matt
pissed.
on. Marty and I fished the first 2 B1s in Quebec, and at the second one in the meeting, Bob and Wayne sat directly in front of us. And Wayne's busy on his BlackBerry, doing business stuff, and Bob's chatting to the crowd. So the gentleman on the left, was around the same age as me, says to Bob, how important he was, and you really changed my life. And when I was growing up, I really wanted to meet you. And I said, Bob, when I was a kid, I went to the Red Wing Fishing Derby in Peterborough, Ontario with my grandmother, and I met you for the first time when I was about 7 years old. And he turned around and looked at us both. And back then, I was probably like 26, 27, with a beard. He's like, you people need to stop telling this story because you're going to start to age me.
Bob's a good guy.
He is super down to earth, nicest guy. You know what? And he was the only guy who swore on stage at the weigh-in.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean?
That was awesome, man.
That's really
Vita did. Vita
did she?
Too. Yeah.
That's really weird. Like, not. It's really good that Bob is just like.
But he swore in context
That's
of a
right,
story.
totally. He
that
didn't
it would have
just-
been the same kind of story.
He
if
didn't
say,
swear
"Oh,
like
shit," right?
we do on this story. He said shooting the shit or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool of how down to earth Bob is.
Yeah, Joe and
Right?
I were talking
there's nothing-
during the delay there on Saturday.
Yeah?
We were talking to Bob on the phone
Nice.
on the way in.
There's just something about that guy who's just really special, eh?
Yeah,
Like he's
great
just
guy.
like above. He's a Canadian icon.
Ultra humble.
Yeah.
He is.
I can't
Super
imagine how
duper
much.
cool.
I can't
Yeah.
believe how much he loves tournament fishing.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Buddy,
He even
he-
said that,
he'll give it
yeah.
all up for tournament fishing. You have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
For sure.
He'll,
Are you bringing that guy on here or what?
yeah, I think
Is he ready?
he's ready. Matt, are you there?
I've been sitting here just racking up the minutes on my phone listening.
Hey,
to
no
you guys
problem.
talk.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, buddy.
You feel free to bill fear fishing.
We like Bob Azumi.
Yeah, we're big Bob fans.
He is the greatest asset to this sport in this country. Always will be. So
Absolutely. I think
we're
he's.
truly blessed to have someone like that as the figurehead of our sport up here.
And you know what?
100%.
All the Americans I talk to, all the Americans, Brian the Carpenter, guys like that,
They love Bob Azumi
They all
down
know
there.
Bob.
Oh, yeah, they love him.
I was really proud the time Bob beat Scott Martin on the challenge. Remember that Niagara River? Yeah.
I put my flag outside for that.
Fishing poles on the porch.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's great.
Well, Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You've been you're about our first guest in the last 30 shows, so.
It's 30.
30. I think it's been 30 shows since we had a guest. Our last guest might have been Justin Lucas. He didn't even know about hockey. We had to cancel guest. I was trying to use an analogy about hockey, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, all right, no more guests on the show. Cut it.
Justin Lucas has the full-on hockey hair look, too. He looks like he could wear a
You would
Bauer
think so.
or
Yeah, man.
Silly California boy.
Yeah.
So, Matt,
Yeah.
let's get into this. You had a heck of a weekend fishing on Lake Erie there a week ago.
Yeah, it was the best 2 days, and if you count the clubby that I fished there the week before, it's the best 3 days I've ever had out on Lake Erie.
That's awesome. What'd you weigh into the clubby?
I don't know, it was 21 and a half, 21.56, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Wow.
That was only third place. I think there were 5 bags over 20 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
It's been on fire. It's been on fire.
So, let's talk about what was the pattern you used at the B1 to catch all those giant fish? Were you fishing deep or were you fishing shallow?
No, we were fishing stupid deep. Like I think we caught a shallow fish in 39 feet of water.
Wow.
And then everything else, we were kind of in our practice. We can talk about the whole deal.
You let her spill.
But in our practice, we found I think our waypoint that we started with was in like 42 or 46 feet.
Wow.
Wow. Deep fish.
Yeah.
So are you fizzing these fish when you're bringing them in?
Oh yeah. They I don't know. There's so many variations on how to take care of these things, but I put them in the box and let them sit for a couple minutes. Takes that little bit of a stress factor, then you can pick them up and fizz them right away. So it's the most important thing you can do for the fish is get them belly down.
Now, Bruce Tufts, didn't he have a fizzing package?
Yeah, that was for the Thousand Island Open, and this is the really cool part. He gave you a pack of needles, but on the outside of the needle there was like a barcode that you could scan with your smartphone, and it would take you right to the YouTube video on how to properly fizz a smallmouth bass.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
It
genius.
was really cool.
Yeah,
Genius.
that's cool.
Super good plan.
I had the pleasure of fishing with Bruce Tufts out in the Canadian Open. God, must be 8 years ago now. Out in Kingston, and probably the field was pretty. So probably 30% of the field came up to him and asked him for needles or fin clips or whatever. So he's clearly the guy in the field for that. And to sit there and fish and ask him anything you want, it was a great day to learn. We only caught 2 fish that day, but learning about how to care for the fish and why they do what they do is unbelievable.
Yeah, being able to pick a guy's brain is sometimes way better than pulling fish in the boat.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And a guy that teaches for a living on how to keep these things alive and sustain habitat, and it's something you just absorb and never lose.
That's awesome.
In your opinion, these fish that are staying super, super deep all summer long, are those the bigger fish, do you think?
Well, I don't know if they're there all summer long. I'm not an erie expert by any stretch of the imagination. I got lucky a couple times there, but what we found, and you guys were talking about that water temperature on Quinny. We were in practice. We were in 12 feet, and it was in the mid 80s, low to mid 80s. We were throwing blades. We're still catching fish, but where we ended up fishing was a winter spot, and the only way I can kind of justify that in my head is the fish got uncomfortable in the warmer water, whether that be in 5 feet of water, 8 feet of water, 12 feet of water, because it's going to be high the whole way through, and said, forget this, and went deep to that colder water. That's what I think.
Past that thermocline.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that in all the lakes, the super hot summers really messed with the smallmouth fishing and everywhere.
Yeah.
Matt, you
Yeah.
said this was the most amazing 3 days you've ever had out there. Did you do anything different this time, or
We can
just-
straight up ask him what baits he's using.
Oh, I just want to know.
Don't
if
be
you did
shy.
anything different, or
It's
you
fear fishing. We're open here.
Yeah.
There's no secret. I'm sure most of the people listening have watched Darren's video about what we did and how we worked together and the baits we used and stuff. I never talked about baits I used yet. We'll save that for tonight. But it's anything I've done different. Yeah, I didn't overthink. Like I'm very dependent on my electronics. I have been for years now.
You're running Garmin units?
Sorry,
Or what kind of units are you running there?
I got Humminbird Mega Gen 2s.
Nice.
Yeah, they're taking a bit of adjusting to do whenever you switch from one manufacturer to another. Of course, there's quirks and menus and stuff you have to get through. But the easy use of these things is pretty impressive. And once they're set up, finding fish is made a lot easier.
Huh.
But yeah, so essentially both. I got to fish with a gentleman named Merv, and I fished though in
I like
Georgia
that name.
last year in another clubby. And we didn't have a good day. I think it's the lowest weight I think's ever been recorded on Georgian Bay. And here I am with a TV show out there, and I'm weighing in 0.8 pounds for my full bag, right? So
Wow.
0.8.
FLW Canada is looking great for us now.
You get the booby prize.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of redemption for Merv and I, and whenever I got to say, Merv, get the net, it was a good one. But both in the clubby, I was fishing shallower in the clubby. I think I was around 28 feet. And I essentially was just pitching a drop shot. I had 4 rods tied up, all identical, and a tube. I always have a tube on. I love dragging a tube around.
Yep.
But I was catching drum. I was like Lars on the drums at the back of the boat, and I said, you know what, we got to change this up. We brought the bait a few feet off bottom, and we started catching smallmouth. So
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
and we kind of stuck with that through the B1. I think we only caught 1 fish, and all the B1 not on a drop shot.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, you're a Daiwa man like the rest of the crew here.
There's no other man to be.
Yeah. Daiwa!
But I noticed on some of your picture you're using a lot of those combat sticks. Can you talk about more of those?
Yeah, okay. So funny you bring that up. I've been pushing combat sticks really hard this year. And kind of talking with the guys at Daiwa. They're going, hey, we have this great opportunity to get some evergreen rods in your guys' boats. Would you be interested in running a whole slew of them? And I go, why not? These things are awesome looking.
They are awesome.
They one thing that I do, and in my I don't want to say field, but working with kids and youth and stuff like that, my message has always been from day one: buy good equipment, but you can also buy equipment that does lots of things, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And these evergreen rods, I think there's only 7 different rods in the lineup that's available out here right now. But what those rods do, wide range of things, right? So I've been pushing that 7.4 medium
Yep.
spinning rod, and it is probably the nicest all-around spinning rod I've ever thrown. I throw a spy bait on it, drop shot, Ned rig, Nico rig. I've thrown a hair jig on it, a little tube, bed fishing. They're unbelievable rod. A lot of backbone.
You actually have one, Mark Hunter.
I do have one.
You managed to scam one.
One that Matt wanted, but he couldn't have because I had
The
it.
7.1 medium heavy
The
spinning rod.
7.1.
Whoa.
And it sure, you know what? It's my favorite rod, Matt. So I'm glad you didn't get it.
I'll probably have 2 or 3 of those on the order next year.
You know,
But
I
we
would
got a
love
few
to
more
have
coming
some.
out.
For sure.
But you guys have been pushing those that ish frog rod.
I do like the Ish
that
Frog
the
Rod.
Elite series.
I want to tell you something, Matt, that may hurt your feelings. I got a new Daiwa Kage umbrella rig rod today for salmon fish. Kage
Kage.
Fuego.
Oh yeah, say it again. Say it again.
Fuego.
Fuego, he says.
Fuego. I feel like Alex Trebek.
You're right.
Fuego.
You're right there. You're almost got
Thank
it.
God I can say Tatua.
They do have some crazy names for their lines, though, eh?
Yeah. Well, I guess Kage means shadow in Japan.
Yes, it does.
I don't know how I know that. Kyle Crothers is in my other ear feeding me information. But yeah,
Talk about one of the best guys to deal with the sponsorship in that Kyle dude, eh?
he is one of the
super guy.
nicest guy in fishing.
Amazing guy.
Oh.
Him, everyone over there at that Greywood, super great to deal with. I'm very, very happy to be a part of the team.
Greg scares me a little bit, but other than that,
you guys on another level there. But yeah, no, running back to the equipment there. Yeah, I have been pushing those evergreens pretty hard this year, but it was the Tatua Elites that got it done for me. I 2 years ago, I guess, when they first came out. Last year, 2 years ago?
somewhere around there.
Last year, I got that Randy Howell 7.3 drop shot underspin rod.
Ooh, I got one. Yeah, I got that rod.
Yeah, it's probably the nicest drop shot rod you could pick up.
That's what I throw the Ned rig on.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful rod.
It's a great spy bait rod also.
That would make sense. I really like the 7.4 Andy Morgan rod, and I really like the Brent Naylor drop shot rod with the carbon fiber guides.
Yeah, I got those carbon fiber guides. I'm a bit of a bull in a china shop, so they're not the greatest things.
Yeah, I totally feel you too.
But
yeah.
If anyone's ever fished with me, you know that there's rods everywhere and 4 or 5 piles of dead baits, and I stumble and fall all over the place. I'm just a mess in the boat.
Yeah.
But the 2 rods I used, the one was that Randy Howell with the blue writing on it.
Yep.
That's how you tell. And I just got my Seth Fighter 7.6 hair rig rod back.
I was just going to say that if there was any rod in the whole lineup I wanted to use, it was the Seth Fighter 7.6.
I want one of those llama shirts.
Go easy here. We're talking about Daiwa.
I still want a llama shirt.
You've been with Daiwa for a long time too, Matt.
I guess 4 years now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's phenomenal equipment.
It is the best engineered stuff on the market at the best price. Yeah. Let's jump over and talk about your TV show.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that. Where can people see it, and how long how'd you get into doing the whole thing?
Well, you can watch it on if you have Rogers TV in between Orangeville, Barrie, and as far north as Perry Sound. So I think we're in like 700,000 households or so.
Yep.
And it's on the Rogers local network, so you'd only ever really see it in a dentist office or a bank or anything like that, really. Which is great, but you know.
That's the most humility I've ever heard from a tournament angler, right there. You know, I see it here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, you know what? It's incredible the amount of views that we get on that show. Because I'm just a dude, right? Brian is just a dude. We go out, we love to fish. But it's all about that introductory about how to fish. We fish in metropolitan areas, close to the metropolises and where our show is located. So metropolises might be a big word for you in there. So we fish near cities.
I want to hear him say it.
Metropolis.
Say it.
I couldn't spell it.
I was warned about using big words. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes, you were.
Let's try to keep this under 2 syllables.
Well, no, from the Midland Maritime, a lot of area really stuff. We like to capture the local, kind of the local environment. We've done we filmed a couple of tournaments, which has been great. But how we got started was Brian Barrio there, the co-host. He had a show called The Boating Life.
Okay.
And I've developed a relationship with Brian from running this college tournament on Georgian Bay. We went out of a marina that he used to be manager of. And one day it was like, hey, boating, you can fish on a boat, so why don't we do a fishing episode? So we got out, we did that. We had actually Darren, my partner there for B1, we had his son out with another friend of mine, and that was kind of the first fishing episode that we had done. in filming the college tournament. So they got a fair bit of interest. Rogers and Midland did out of that. So they went to Brian and said, "Hey, how would you like a fishing show?" And I don't know whether they said you need a co-host or if Brian came to them and said, "Hey, I got a great guy that we want to do this with."
Yep.
But regardless, I got a phone call saying, "Hey, Matt, there's an opportunity. If you'd like it, you want to come co-host a show with me?" And I said, "Brian, that's absolutely amazing." And if you know Brian, that absolutely word is a staple. So absolutely. And it's kind of, we're filming our 3rd season right now.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Congrats,
That's
man.
super cool. I think that's everybody's childhood dream to have a TV show.
Yeah.
For sure it is.
Yeah.
For sure it is. Now, Matt, I know you're involved in some college fishing. Why don't you explain to us what you have done with college fishing here in Canada?
Well, I don't want to use words that pump my own horn too much there, but I started the first collegiate club down at Conestoga College there.
Yep.
The first, I guess, sanctioned collegiate event, quote unquote, was actually done with the first B1 there in Lachine. And that was a wild experience, and I'm thankful for everybody that helped get that up off the ground and bring the a very small group of anglers. I think there was only 4 anglers at the time when we started it, but everywhere is a starting point.
Yep,
That's
for
right.
sure.
Yeah, and
we used
went
to have
out, we
3
fished
viewers.
for a
Now we have
couple days
22.
and whatnot. And I kind of was sitting there in my 2nd year at Conestoga, and I went, I don't really have anybody to fish against. So we started a tournament, and we've been going, I guess, 9 or 10 years now.
Wow.
We've run it out of Lake Eugenia, Lake Scugog, Georgian Bay, and it's kind of grown slowly. I have trends on numbers of students that participate, but it's a really good program. Every kid leaves with a tackle box and a ton of prizes and stuff, and I have great sponsors. Cabela's, the CBAF I work with in running this program. Daiwa gave me a great gift pack this year. It's great. You know what? When you see events done on a certain scale, and the media attention that a B1 gets, or media attention that the Canadian Open gets, that's not necessarily the immediate attention that I get, but I want to take that feeling that I get in those bigger events that I fish and give it to the kids that only fish 1 or 2 times a year, maybe.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's amazing, man.
Here's my question to you, Matt. Do you ever think we could get collegiate fishing up here to the level it is in the United States?
Well, that is, I guess, the end goal when you talk to me about this, and that was kind of the dream that I had 9 years ago, sitting in a classroom wondering what I'm ever going to do with stationary physics. But
What do you mean?
What the hell is stationary physics?
That beer is not moving.
I have an architecture degree. Not a lot of people know that, right?
You study
But
shit that
it's,
don't move.
Yeah.
Or it moves really
doesn't-
slowly.
Like snow loads. Who cares about snow loads? Put enough studs in your roof and you're good to go.
It's true.
Yeah, Sean, you could tell us all about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's so no. That's kind of the end goal. I've had conversations with the what is it? Not the NCAA, but the UCAA and the CACC or whatever they're called up here.
Yep.
And I need the help of a couple of professors, I think, and a solid group of students to kind of get pushed through. But if we kind of make the base of it and shifting the focus over to the high school program, that will help build a collegiate program stronger. That's kind of the goal. And even if we don't get official with it and I get to run a tournament and make 20 kids happy a year, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, before we let you go, is there anything you'd like to say about the final day weigh-in at the B1? We know there's a little bit of controversy. Is there anything you'd like to talk about relating to that?
You wouldn't let me dodge this question, eh?
No.
Well.
No. No.
We were just warming you up.
Get it. Well, first off, Sean called me Friday night after we weighed 22 pounds the first day.
Yeah.
And he pretty much said, "I love you, buddy. You're a boy of mine. Go do this thing, and we'll talk about it online." And then in the week that I had last week, I tried getting out of it, and then we're kind of like, let's just talk about the fishing and talk about you.
Yep.
And I love that. But what I will say about that last day is it was an extremely hard fishing day. And if you got a bag of fish over 20 pounds, it was, you worked really hard for it.
We got you, man.
Anybody who did that worked very hard for it.
Well, that's gonna have to do. My man, where can people follow you on social media?
Oh God! If you can spell my last name properly, you just put it into the Google machine. My Instagram, my Facebook will all come up. But I'm Matt Pizzeta on Instagram, and that kind of gets updated first for me.
Perfect.
And follow me through that way, and it's a lot of fun. You'll see a lot of food pictures. And a lot of fish pictures.
Now, for those of you who don't know, like I'm good buddies with Matt, and I love his cooking.
Oh yeah.
I will travel. I've traveled many hours when he says I'm cooking.
You
know
did
what?
go
It's-
to yeah.
There's no question in my mind. I'm just like, I'm on my way.
You know what? I've had a dish that he's prepared, and he said, you know what? I'm going to make a salad. And then he starts the barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, buddy, barbecue kale salad. He made
Dude,
the
it
salad
was
at Joey Ford's
delicious,
birthday.
man.
It was dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
Serious.
It was a barbecue BLT salad. Yeah, you grill the kale up on the barbecue a little bit before. It just takes a little bit of the bitterness out of it and makes it a little crispy. And you mix it with the bacon. And you have to use real mayonnaise and real Dijon mustard in the dressing for that. But my God, is it good?
It was good, man.
There was none
That
of it
sounds
left.
good. Yeah, no doubt.
No, my tuna salad was left.
Of course it
Yeah,
was.
they say you don't make friends with salad, but I got you
That
guys.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was good, man.
You don't make friends.
They're
with
cheap
salad.
friends. Anyway, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your season. I hope everything works out for you, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys, and hopefully I'll see you, Mark, up on Nipissing this weekend.
Oh, I shall. Go do some pre-fishing for me, bud. I can't get there till Friday.
Oh, something like that. I'll be there after you, I'm sure.
You know what? I seem to do better when I don't go pre-fishing.
Smart play.
You know what? I've been looking at the navionics here the whole time I've been on for you, so
Thank you.
I think we're going to start around one of these rivers that they have.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Good call.
Yeah.
Well, if you see Danny and Coop there, you're on the right spot.
Yeah.
That's how I'm pre-fishing from now on. Thank you for joining us, Matt. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right. Ciao, Matt. Did you hang on?
Did you hang him up?
He's the IT guy now.
He's the IT guy now?
He hung himself up.
Okay, here's the plan. You can talk about your tree stand. I'm going to go to the little boy's room.
Really?
Yeah, but we still got to talk about this B1 thing.
We are going to
Yeah,
get to
we
the B1 deal as soon as I get back.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that to them.
What?
He's going pee.
They're big boys. They can handle it.
Okay. Yeah, so as everybody knows, I hunt public land. I don't have any friends really with hunt camps or anywhere I can hunt, so that's my only option.
That's how you got to make it happen.
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
So I went
We know people
to
with hunting
check
camps.
things out about a month ago. Everything was honky dory, no problems.
Yeah.
So I went again on Saturday.
Spell it.
One of them. And I go there, and sure as shit, somebody's stolen my stand.
So you left your stand from the end of hunting season last year,
Yes.
which is December 31st in
Yes.
your zone, right?
Yes.
And you went back August 17th
I've checked on it a few times. It's been fine
on public land.
on public land. So I went again on Saturday, and it was gone. And it wasn't easy, man. It was locked up and everything. It wasn't just a circumstance thing, like you go up, you see
It was cut down.
see a stand, and then you just take it. No, somebody had to go back with the proper tools to get that lock off and everything. You know what I mean? That's what pissed me off.
Did you have pegs screwed into the tree
Do I have pegs, like for hanging
Gorilla
and
pegs.
stuff? No.
for climbing up? Would you have a ladder there?
Yeah, well, it was a ladder, big ladder stand thing.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
ladder stand.
double seat.
So you're not getting out of there without a wheeler.
Oh no, man, it's heavy. It's
Wow.
heavy. Oh yeah.
Wow. I got an 18-foot double wide ladder stand at a Hawk that I picked up at East Hill Outdoors there last Black Friday sale. I'm gonna
I
get her
got
out
that.
this year. Yeah.
You leave that in
No,
the
I
bush?
got that at. That's where I got it, East Hill. So I had it for like half a season. It hasn't even seen any.
I hope
Just
the
a
guy
lot
that,
of my
I hope the guy
ass
that
sitting
stoles it
on
knows
it.
how unlucky it is.
Yeah. You know, I hope he falls out of it, the bastard.
I got a couple of nice bucks coming
Yeah.
in right now, all in velvet. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh man.
I haven't done anything deer hunting. I've been so busy with the fishing gig.
And I put some bait out somewhere, or not bait,
Somewhere?
minerals.
How'd your
stuff,
pissing gig go?
Tracting stuff. And,
Beautiful.
Good.
Cam.
Champ.
Good for you.
Next time I'm going to bring a water bottle in here. I'm just going to let it go in the
There
middle
you
of the show. Yeah, do you guys, before we get to the B1, do you want to open the RLM box?
Yeah, we should.
We should?
Yeah.
Mark Hunter, get in there.
You know what?
It's always exciting time
we
of
haven't
week.
even opened it yet.
We haven't.
So this is a multi-species box.
I opened a bass box while I was on tour in Trenton. Some of the Yum spinner. You're not allowed to go pee, Marty.
I'm calling first dibs on this box.
You know what?
Hold on.
I think they sent
I
me,
used some of the Yum swim baits at
I
the
think they
Big
sent me a
One.
birthday card.
No way.
Menu.
Let me open that up.
Let me
The
open
the RLM Elite box, you can order that on simplefishing.ca. You can save $10 on your first box by using the code FEARFISHING. We got a thank you card. I like when they send the thank you card.
Thank
It's
you,
even
Scott.
personally signed by Scott.
All right, so first item. Are we ready for this?
Okay, let's do it.
We got a
Slam rod
We
card.
got a Schwanger
Slam
baits,
rod card.
7-inch swim bait. Look at that.
Whoa.
Joint
I should have
swim bait.
opened this box.
Lake Fork.
Look at that.
Let's see that.
Look at that. That'd be good.
Oh, man. I'd really like to catch a giant walleye. If you're any of you guys are watching YouTube videos, check out Brandon Polnick casting giant swim baits. This is going to continue to be mine. That's a really good
That's
pickup.
pretty cool looking.
That's got to be 14 or 15 bucks.
Easily.
If not more.
Not more. More than that. Okay, so you're gonna like this one.
Welcome
buddy.
to the Tri-Lakes, my friend.
Yeah, you're gonna like this one.
We
What do we got
smashed
here?
a lot
I know
of fish
you
on
throw
swim
this
baits
a
this
lot.
year.
What do we
I've seen you
got?
throw this. This is a skirted swim jig.
No way.
Yeah.
I used to have a
500
white
rod.
one. I used to have a
500
white
rod.
one, then Sean McCall stole it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a good bait. Oh, and
Well,
it's
then
like
let's
in
go.
a perch color, too.
Some wide gap. Hooks.
Marley, check that out.
Put a throw a feature bait.
Have a good look.
On there.
So we needed on the weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I opened the wrong box.
And a lipless.
So here, I listened to at the
Choke
weigh-in,
knives.
one of the gentlemen talking about using a rattle trap like this, and they were ripping it through the weeds like a hair
It's
jig.
not a rattle
Actually-
trap. Let's call it what it is.
Sorry, folks.
It's a Strike Pro
Strike Pro,
sinking
sinking,
lipless.
catch big fish.
That's pretty cool. Look how mean it looks.
There's more.
I like that
Oh,
color.
yeah, there's more.
We should also mention that the RLM box is the box with the most hard baits.
That one's going home with me.
You can
Oh
have it.
yeah.
Yep,
You'll
just
like,
saying.
What is this?
You'll like
Just
this
saying.
one too.
I'm a big crankbait guy now.
This is
That's
a Bagley crankbait. Another crankbait.
You into that, Marley?
Yeah, that's a good bait, actually.
Okay, give that one to Marley. There you go, man.
It's
Wow.
mine.
Don't say Fear Fishing never paid you.
Your fishing never paid me.
And some small.
Those are like drop shot baits.
Yeah, you can do
You could
shot.
hammer opening day walleye. North
put
Shore
that on
Tackle.
it.
That is actually a local company to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, and you know what? You could probably put that on.
You could hammer down on those on the opening day walleye bite in the
Rainbows?
Otonabee River. Otonabee River walleye.
I'm going to float fish those.
And
Are
some-
you?
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
those. You can take them to Niagara Falls with you.
Yeah,
What is this
seriously.
thing?
We got some bam
Oh,
baits.
tubes are mine.
No, I was gonna take those. I haven't got nothing yet.
There you
Thank
go.
You get the thank you card.
Bitch, I'm opening it.
I got nothing. I got nothing, guys.
Oh, look at this. Could it
Oh.
be my favorite?
No, they're not dingers. They're swim baits,
I know
man.
that.
I use
I know
those.
that.
Those
Not
are the
dingers.
exact baits I
These
used
are
at Quinny
swim
and caught a
baits.
couple
These look
fish on
pretty
those
sweet.
during pre-fish. They swim really well and they
know.
have a really good back and forth wobble to them. I really like those
I gotta
baits.
Open them up and show them. You know what? I'm a big fan of the Yum stuff.
Are you?
I use
Yeah.
a lot of Yum stuff too.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. That's a
It's a good looking bait.
that's
Looks like a bluegill.
Look at the tail on that. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
It
And
is
it's
a great
ribbed. I
bait.
don't know if
Look at
you can
that.
see the ribs
Remember,
on it. It's
folks,
pretty cool.
Give me one of those.
you can save $10 on your first box by using the discount code FEARFISHING at simplefishing.ca. Is that it, Mark?
Yeah.
Are you guys all happy with what you're going home with?
Yeah. Okay. What do we got?
I got those hooks. Those are mine. Anybody want a swim jig or is
What
that
do I
I
mine?
want those swim baits.
You
You can't have a swim bait.
What?
what do you? Oh my
can
God!
have
It's like
one.
little kids in
You
here
can
fight.
have one.
There
Oh, give
goes
me
the
that
fear
one.
fishing
Now
giveaway.
now I got two.
That box didn't last. That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
box.
That's
Oh,
an
yeah.
awesome box.
That
That
was
was a
an amazing
really
box.
awesome box. You even got steelhead baits.
You got everything in there.
I'm going to use this week.
Well, should we get to it or what?
You have the most information on this. You get the ball rolling. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Well, everybody knows what happened last week Was it last week? The week before now?
Last weekend.
I've lost so much time with
Last weekend.
ours
you like
going
a
to the
pack of
FLW
Hugs?
Canada Cup.
Yep.
But everybody knows that Matt Pezzetta and Darren Joyner were crowned the day of on championship. Was championship Sunday, right?
I believe so.
They were crowned the winners,
Yep.
Yes, they were.
right? And straight up accepted the trophy, took the boat.
Took a
They
boat.
won.
Headed home. Made
Right.
videos.
Yeah, made videos. So
B1
happy.
posted videos. Everybody posted videos.
Right.
Darren posted a thank you video.
A
the last
15
vid-
minute
yeah.
video. Great video.
We
too.
listened to it during the rain delay at the FLW Canada Cup.
Yeah, yeah. And then mysteriously, 4 days later, it comes out that there's been a clerical error with something as so simple as a time penalty,
Yes.
right?
2 minutes.
And they're relinquishing their trophy and giving it to the second place people. Now, I don't agree with this because there's rules in place.
There is rules
Yes,
in,
there
in here.
And now, especially all the anglers, they've got their angler packages,
Yes.
right? There's a rule in there, right?
And let's start off. This is not a B1 bashing by any means.
No.
Running a tournament series is probably the most difficult thing
And
that you
thankless.
could possibly do. And there's 10,000 years in your head, and trying to pull off a great show with the social media age. And I know more than anybody about trying to make the show look good, because while we're fishing tournaments and pre-fishing and doing anything we do here, we film the vlog, and it's all on camera. It's all for everybody to see, and we get that people make mistakes and things happen, and it just happens to be the B1. It could be any tournament.
Well, how many baseball games, hockey games?
That's right.
Been blown on bad calls.
That's
Yeah.
right. Totally.
Yeah.
There-
And
so
now-
this is not a B1 bashing.
No, it's not but
at
no,
all.
This
No,
is
it's not.
this is us clarifying that we are in a sport.
That's right.
This is a sport.
This
and there
is a
are
sport.
rules,
Yes.
right? It's not just fly by the seat of your pants. Oh, he said, she said. Do whatever you want.
It's not
We'll make up our
self-
mind later.
It's not self-regulated.
And you
or
know,
something.
No, it's not.
I don't. I can't say that I've been at this B1 pre-meeting, but in all the first two we went to, the FLW Canada Championship, at any classic, they will remind you that this is a professional event,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
You need to act like professionals. Yada 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 down the line. That this is a professional event.
That's
Now,
right.
I'm going to give my opinion on this first. I see this. I grew up playing sports and very competitive sports. And in my opinion, I posted that Brett Hall goal that shouldn't have
Yes.
count, and they got away with it. And I feel like because this is a sport, the referee at the end of whatever it ends, and in fishing it just happens to be the weigh-in.
Yes.
As soon as that weigh-in happens and they say, good night, everybody, congratulations to the winner, it's over.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
If you had a complaint, you should have had it in. You should have raced up to the stage, paid your, was
there's-
$100?
There's
$100.
a rule there.
There's a
Right?
rule.
You get up there, and somebody should have stopped the MC from going on any further until they dealt with the situation. But in my opinion, that as soon as that bell rings and this is over and they put that microphone down, this is done. And sometimes it's going to suck, and sometimes it's going to work in your favor, and it's professional sports.
Yes.
And
Now,
that's my opinion. That's how I feel, and that's why I made the Brett Hall post. And I wasn't poking fun at anybody. It's just that sometimes in sports, bad calls are made. Sometimes
100%.
in baseball,
100%.
sometimes in baseball, and I totally could be pulling this rule out of my butt, but you only have so many video replays to play.
Yeah.
Do you not? So when you run out of video replays and there's a really bad call on the field, you just got to live with it. It sucks, but it's sports.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that rule.
I don't know.
I know there's
But-
something to do with video. I'm not.
Joan wants to know what the rules are.
Read the. Do you have the rules handy? You had the rules and you posted them.
Oh.
Or
You
would-
got the rules. You probably screenshotted it.
It's just it's really really tough.
Well, that one particular rule,
Let's hear it.
and guys can't be calling the tournament director the next day and bitching
No.
and pissing and moaning.
That's got to stop.
That's this rule here is the whole deal for it, right? I'm gonna have to find it. Give me a
And
second.
if we want this whole thing to work, it doesn't matter. We've got good numbers going across the whole board here in Ontario.
It's been a good tournament.
Right? It's
year.
been a really
Yep.
good tournament year. All the big series have done really well. The smaller series are doing really well. and we don't want to stop this momentum over something. This hurts us all. If you were there, you weren't there. This hurts us all. This partakes in our sport, and it's really important. And I agree with Sean. I don't think that on Monday morning we should be harassing.
There's too much you can't give back. You can't give back the celebration.
That's right.
You can't give back all those emotions you feel from winning.
Yeah.
Right?
No, totally. And you know what?
It's too hard to do that 4 or 5 days later.
For sure. And
Yeah,
you want to have a good show. And then, I feel really bad for the Berkeley B1 crew who put like a lot of hard work into planning this and a lot of hard work trying to make the show happen. And, just because if we don't fish the series, it doesn't mean that we don't watch. It doesn't mean that we don't appreciate their reach to new people to watch a fishing weigh-in, because maybe those people watch for the first time and then they watch what we're fishing, or would they watch what we're fishing and then they watch the other series. So in the big scheme of things, this affects us all. And I feel really bad for all the crew members of the B1 who really put a lot of time in, and I think this is their 10th year. Somewhere. It's either the 9th or 10th year. And, this sucks. It's just a bad break, right? But, there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser here. And that's the... I don't think... there's just a timeline issue. What was that?
Amber
Trying
just...
to get your attention.
She put her hand up and hit the duct.
I'm so tall. Bob Deckert says he's pretty sure Bass Elites have 24 hours to contest.
And
Yeah, but this rule says that you have to.
Yeah, this is
you
a
have
rule
to
in there.
Did you find it yet?
Protest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can read it out.
I'm gonna have to find it.
I think it says something about if you ever put it's going to be on official paper with $100
that's provided by the
payment
B1 with
before they
$100
weigh.
before you weigh in.
Before the weigh.
And that's a rule. That rule would have avoided all of this
the whole thing.
controversy.
Because, the MC would have got the information that we need to hold on a second and we need to have a meeting, right? And all of us watching at home could have had a break while they figured this out, so that the right announcer was made about the right winners and why, and it shouldn't have got this far.
No, it shouldn't have.
Right? But still, who's to say what really happened that day?
I don't know.
We don't
Right?
know.
We weren't there.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
By now, there's been a lot of rumors. I've heard 20,000 different stories about the same thing, right? And people are upset, and there's kind of like a 50-50 crowd who thinks that who should get to keep the boat, right? I haven't heard anything from the second place team.
Well, honestly, I think B1 should come up with 2 boats. Right?
Right, but we like also how realistically financially is that? I could see maybe they have insurance or something, but
yeah, but the rules in place.
That's right. That's the important part. It doesn't matter who called who or who complained or who saw it or didn't see it. These are the rules on the piece of paper, right? There was a rule in that hockey game that said you could not have your foot in your crease.
Yeah.
Right? Brett Hall scored the goal. Really sucks. I feel bad for the town of Buffalo who could have won the Stanley Cup, but it's sport. And in sport, it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right? And, I can totally see if a basket of fish was found or,
that's different. That's
somebody
charges.
That's right. And I totally think that we should go back 5 years and there should be no timelines on people cheating. But I don't think Matt and Darren cheated.
No.
Right? I don't think the late penalties cheating or even close to that. And I don't think that, as much as I think that anglers need a voice, I don't think we should be able to use our voice to... I don't think I should be able to call Andy this morning and complain. Right? No. Should I be able to call Andy and say, man, I really made a bad decision last Thursday running up the Navanee River, and Marley and I want to redo next Saturday. Right? Marley and I are gonna,
I'll be there.
Marley and I are going to fish Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if we beat Eric and Ashley... we want the trophies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that I don't think it should work like that. It's the people at the B1 are the commissioners. The people at FLW Canada are the commissioners. They write the rules, and I think that because we have so many series that maybe there's some worry that getting boats back or you have to have that worry right now in the sport in Canada.
Well.
And it shouldn't be like that.
This
right?
has got to be fixed somehow.
I agree.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
It's not for us to say. There's no right answer here, right? Nobody's going to be happy. And this works in all fishing tournaments. And no matter how they try to smooth this over, there's always going to be a side that thinks it's wrong, and there's going to be a side that thinks you did a really good job. And right, same when I make a video. Some people just hate my guts, and other people think that it's really good. And, and it is what it is. But, I don't make the next video trying to impress the crowd that doesn't like me.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So I really feel for them, and I know it takes a ton of hard work, and it could have happened to anybody. That's my thought. You guys got anything? You just gonna let me hang here?
Well, no.
You're just gonna, GQ it up, Sean? Just shake your head.
No, I really don't think that the anglers should bring it up after the fact. I really think that if there's a problem, guys should speak up.
Totally.
Right.
Listen. If it was
the rules
a tournament, and supposedly you and I had the winning bag. If I have the winning bag of fish on Saturday at the Tri Lakes, and we see so and so roll in here 2 minutes out of the fact, I'm not going to wait till it's over to start bitching.
Right.
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 Especially when I see that live well open up and they've got them.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to be right up on stage, and I'm going to make my complaint. I'm going to march over to the CSFL shower and be like, listen, Sean's going to pay you the money. Here's my official complaint.
Oh, yeah.
Sean's got $100 out. I still owe you $100 too.
But for a bunch of guys to be calling them and
Yeah,
pissing
and
and moaning.
That's right. And the other thing is that, man, anglers are brutal to each other online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You I didn't make my post to be obnoxious, or it was kind of funny, right?
It was a pot shot. It was funny.
It was funny. It was funny, right? And now that I've got to explain myself, that's just my feelings as being a hockey player. That I lost all kinds of games because somebody got slashed. We're still pissed off at Wayne Gretzky because he speared Doug Gilmour in the face, or we would have beat the Canadians in the finals, right? And it's a sport. It's a professional sport. It's supposed to be a professional sport. We're all supposed to be, I got a hard feeling that, like at the Bassmasters, when what's his name? Who weighs in with Mercer?
Who weighs in?
Who's Chip?
Yeah.
When he says something's happening, I imagine things are happening. Like there's no toting the line here, right?
No.
And us anglers need a voice, and we need to speak up. And I think we all have valid points about getting together and wanting more money in payouts, and trying to make this more established so that more guys can do this, because it's costing us way more than it is paying back, right? But some things that have to be left up to the bosses running the shows.
100%.
Yep.
That's right.
Ryan Flaro says he doesn't think it was a protest issue. He thinks he heard it was human error on B1 side, and they are correcting their mistake.
But they have to follow their own rules.
Yeah.
And when they put that mic down, that ended the tournament, and I don't know, but you'll have 15,000 people on the other side argue it the other way. So nobody's going to be happy.
As soon as those keys are handed over, that should have been end of
That's it.
Yeah.
Right? And
Like, seriously, you stand
It's
by
like that line in the
the
wedding.
error or not.
the what?
The line at a wedding.
Yeah, for sure. There is a line, right? And I
Sporting
can't express
event
enough
is over.
how bad I feel for the crew of the B1. I really like that sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I can guarantee you that I couldn't run a better tournament.
Yeah, I don't think it's an easy thing to do.
No,
I've seen
it
what
can't
goes
be
into
an
it
easy thing.
firsthand, and it's not.
Oh
an
my
easy thing to
God, I couldn't imagine dealing with the phone calls from anglers
do. Yep. And
on like a good day,
yeah.
right? Come on,
That's true.
Yeah.
But there honestly is another side of this story that I know that I'm not at liberty to talk about, right? So
we're only also given the information that we've heard, and we tried to. We all have been like part of the gossip tree, and I tried to get as much information, and I tried to listen to everybody's side of the story that I could. And I know Sean's been talking about it too, but it's just a tough situation for like Ontario bass fishing.
100%.
You know what? It hurts us all.
100%. But we can't be cutting the bag off guys because we think we know.
Well, that's
right?
the other thing, and we shouldn't be cutting the bag off tournament series because we think we know.
Exactly.
I wasn't there. I'm giving you my personal opinion on the matter of not because I was there, but what should happen when this happens
Moving
again.
forward.
That's right. Whoever's the boss man makes a call, and we all live with it. And you know what? If I was in second place in that tournament, I promise you, and if this ever happens, you guys can hold me to this. If I would be pissed, I would probably come on this show and express my deepest anger for this But at the end of the day, we'd move on to the next event.
That's it.
And that's all you can do. And if you want to be professionals and you want to wear those tournament jerseys and we all want to be, you know, so-and-so, this is just something we're going to have to live with. It is what it is.
I got to agree with you there. I really do. But
I just don't want to. I don't want to.
Second place would be hard to take it.
Yeah.
If you know
It
it
would.
totally.
In
If I
all
was,
honesty.
if I was in, I would be furious, and
It'd
I
be
would
like
come
this-
on this show and I would probably yell and scream and talk shit and be madder in hell. But at
Still
the end
went
of the
out,
day,
you caught more weight than me.
you can't. He still caught more weight than me, right? You still
At the end of the day,
lost.
you caught more weight than I did. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Totally. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like there is a part in this, and we're all gonna have to be professionals and suck it up, and things are gonna happen that you don't like. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, buddy. And I think once that sporting event is done, like you said, the mic's down.
It's a sporting
over.
event.
That's
It-
right.
it's not
you move
like
on to the next one.
it's not my Tim Hortons soccer over there that I watch Ashland play where they all tie.
Yeah.
Right? There's
And all
winners
get
and losers,
prizes.
and there's going to be shitty things that happen, and it's not always going to work out, and it just is what it is. There's probably a billion more incidences of this that just didn't get publicized. Dead fish sneaking through, stuff like that. Right?
You know
Ounce
what?
here, ounce there.
I was, when you're holding waiting for your weigh bag there,
Yeah.
you can see a couple that aren't doing too good, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't hear anything about a stressed fish penalty or anything.
No.
It's kind of weird.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's no matter what we do, at the end of the day, it's never going to be perfect.
Agreed.
Agreed. Is everybody happy?
I got a good one.
Awesome.
You right?
Sean Quinn. He wants to know what Randy Flowers thinks of this.
I don't know.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Buy a t-shirt.
I heard he's watching.
Hashtag them. Let's move on. The salmon are about to run my mighty Gaineraska River. Marley and I grew up here in the town for at least the third year in a row. Please do not come to my town and poach fish. Cut them open, leave them on the banks of the shore so that I got to hear everybody in town talk about how rotten the fishermen are. Are you not sick of that?
I am pretty sick of it, yeah.
We're not all evil people. It's 1% of people who do this. I don't know why they do. We continue to do this as a population of anglers because as like the other thing, we're all in this together. And if you like to fish, then you're part of the whole. Every time somebody looks at a group of people and goes, those anglers, that's all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, you should see what happened to me in Tosco yesterday. I forgot to tell you. We were out on a Lake X, right? And we go into this one pocket,
Yeah.
go to this end dock, and we just pull up. I'm not fishing the dock. Chris is kind of fishing the dock. I'm fishing some pads and stuff. This guy, he's about 100 feet back on his porch. Gets up, no shirt on, comes doing the man strut right down
I
the
bet you
grass.
Chris was all over that.
Right? Yeah, Chris was like, hey, 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 it might
This
drop me
day's
off here.
about to get good.
No. This guy comes strolling down, picks up this log. It had to be probably 60 pounds. Picks it up, and he's holding it with his two hands in front of him, and he's walking. And he stopped at his shed, which was probably, a third of the way to the dock. By the time he gets to the dock, you can see it in his face. He's like, what have I done? I'm holding this great big heavy thing. He picks it up, and he throws it at his dock, because he didn't want us fishing his dock.
Yeah.
Smashes his dock. The log goes off the dock and smashes his boat and goes in between the dock and the boat. And I looked at him and I'm like, really? I'm like, are you serious right now? He's like, yep, pretty serious. I'm like, why would you just smash your dock and your boat with a log? Right? And he turns around and walks away. And I'm like, but wait, why would you do that? Like, why? Right?
That's awesome.
Like,
And you were
like,
worried about my jig hitting your dog.
like
Yeah.
totally smashed his own dock with this great big. It was awesome.
So
You think that log was for you?
It was. We fished his dock and then we left.
some of what we're going to fish on
What was he going to
Tri-Lakes.
do with that log? That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
with
he
it?
wanted to scare all the fish out from under the dock. He didn't
So-
want us fishing his dock, right? Oh, he was pissed.
Where we're potentially going to fish at Tri-Lakes this weekend, we've once had an old guy come out of his house and throw rocks at us, like boulders,
And we had a guy load his kid in a speedboat.
and do loops around us,
Sorry,
right?
Chris, in front
And
of
I
the
caught a 5-pounder the day before off his dock.
Nice.
Yeah.
He moved though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Listen, if somebody doesn't want us fishing their dock, just come down and say, "Hey guys, do you mind?" And
Yeah.
100% guys,
You guys
are-
want to hear?
are
This,
gonna move on.
Anybody who's
I
got
let
kids
them-
listening right
Yeah.
now, turn them in the other room. A long, long time ago on the Bay of Quinte, right? I can't believe I'm telling this story. I probably shouldn't have gone this deep. This mom, there's a really big mansion. They're having like they got a really nice dock too, really long. They have like a family gathering. Had to be 50 people there. So we see the mom, who we're assuming the mom, leaving back and tell the little girl blah 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 in her ear, and then the girl came running down the dock, and we're talking 100 yards from where they're sitting to the dock. And then it was probably like a 30-foot long dock. It was a big dock. And this is where Quiet Marley comes into play. So the little girl comes up and says, you said it, not me. The little girl comes up to us and she goes, "Excuse me, my mom says you can't fish our dock." And Marley went, "Your mom's a bitch." And that little girl turned around. She smiled. At both of us,
knew, eh?
she ran all the way back, grabbed a hold of her mom, and she must have said, "I think you're a bitch." Because the dad behind the barbecue got up, and Marley's like, "Start the boat, start the boat."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Always an adventure, man.
Oh, it was epic. And we did drive away
You got out of there?
in a hurry.
Ah, man,
He's
there's
a
two
big
of ya.
dude. Two of us.
Two of ya. Wow.
There was like 60 of them.
Oh, I
It was a
guess,
family
yeah.
function.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, but
fun.
you're with 8-2 over here.
I know.
Yeah,
He
just
can
get
dunk a
more
ball,
of
but
this.
fight?
Or
Good
swim.
luck. Yeah, or swim. Anyway, we got anything else? We're going to Tri Lakes this weekend.
Yep.
Is it in Bridge North?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
of
in Bridge
course.
North. Bridge
I would
North.
imagine
Come
it
on
is.
It's
down.
always
Make sure
Bridge North.
make sure you follow on the CSFL
Right at
live
the end of the
webpage. You can
causeway.
watch Sean and I weigh in, or come on down. Any final thoughts?
I'll be up in North Bay for
Oh
the
yeah.
OBN qualifier.
Okay. Good luck.
Any fans come and
Yeah. Good luck with your Senko.
see me and buy some tickets for the draw.
That's a 1/16th ounce tungsten you use on the top of your Senko, right? Sean, final thoughts?
Take care of your toenails.
Take care of your toenails.
What, it hurts. It hurts really bad. You guys don't know.
Marley, final thoughts?
Don't spend too much time in an area.
Yeah, like a
It's
river?
effective.
Yeah.
On a river?
Seriously. Or
Okay.
try flipping a pad.
Time management.
Man, seriously.
Amber, you got a final thought here? We forgot to
negative.
introduce you. You're here,
Yeah.
though. Final thought, quick.
Nope, nothing.
Should they run more weekday tournaments?
I
Sure.
hate weekday tournaments.
Really?
No.
I like them.
I hate
I
weekday
like 'em.
tournaments. 'Cause I want to go.
Do you, yeah, I can't even say it right
What?
What?
You know what we do during the day?
No. No
Or the
idea.
week?
Work.
Probably less than I do.
We work.
I'd imagine less than I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, my final thought.
Less than we eat.
My final thought. I'm going fishing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh,
such a
boy.
dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you all. Best of luck. I hope they get this situation figured out and it never happens again to any series.
100%.
That's my big thing. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Tell your friends. Check out the RLM Elite Box. Save $10 on your first box using the discount code FEARFISHING. Bye-bye.